Hi all, welcome to my channel Satish Vlogs. In this video, I would be explaining the concept of a purchase return. What is a purchase return? What are the journal entries when the purchase returns are made? How these purchase returns should get reported in the financial statements? All these details I would be providing in this video. With this introduction, let's move to the next slide of my PPT. In this slide, there is a diagram which depicts like a cycle. This is nothing but an accounting cycle. What is an accounting cycle? What are the various phases of an accounting cycle? All these details I had already provided in my previous video on accounting cycle. And also these purchase returns are primarily related to the purchases which were made in the past, right? So what is a purchase of goods or services on cash or credit? How those details needs to be treated in the books of accounts. All those details I had already provided in my previous video on purchase of goods or services on cash on credit, and I request the viewers to go through these two videos before getting into the details of the current video on purchase returns in order to gain a better understanding of the current concept. And also I would be providing the links for these videos in the below box. As mentioned previously, I would be explaining my concepts considering the phases of an accounting cycle. As part of a first phase, which is a business transaction. What is my business transaction? Purchase returns is my business transaction. When the purchase returns normally happens, when the requested or purchased products not up to mark, then in such a case, our business entity will return back the purchased inventory to the vendor, right? Or if there are any defects in the purchases which the purchase business entity has made, or if the products which are being requested are not up to mark, or if the products which are received are in defective pieces, then in such a case our business entity will return such kind of products which would be classified as a purchase returns, right? So hope this is clear. Now let's move to the next phase of an accounting cycle, which is a journalizing phase. What is this phase all about? For whatever the business transaction for which the entries are supposed to be created, right? So when the purchases were made, actually I had explained how the purchases needs to be treated in my previous video. Request the viewers to go through that video. I am just directly will explain how the returns needs to be accounted as part of this video. Okay, when actually the returns are made, if we have bought the inventory in terms of cash, then the refund needs to be initiated, right? Or if the purchases are made on credit basis, then previously we might have credited the sundry creditors or accounts payable, right? So if the refund is initiated, refund or cash account debtor or sundry debtors, sundry creditors or accounts payable. To when we have made the purchases, we might have debited the purchase account, right? Now we are returning back the goods what we have bought because of various reasons like defective or damaged, etc., right? So we need to reduce our purchases. So the entry would be bank or cash or sundry creditors to purchases, right? Hope this is clear. Now let's move to the third phase of an accounting cycle, which is a ledger creation or postings phase. What is this phase all about? For whatever the journal entries which were made, for all those journal entries, the entries are required to be posted in for whatever the journal entries for which were recorded as part of the journalizing phase, for which the ledger accounts are supposed to be created, and entries are supposed to be posted in the respective ledger accounts, right? So we might have already created the purchase account or bank account or sundry creditors account, right? When the returns are being made, then the respective accounts needs to be adjusted accordingly. Hope this is clear, right? Now let's move to the fourth phase of an accounting cycle, which is a trial balance phase. Okay, so what is this all about? Trial balance is nothing but the summary of the balances of the ledger accounts. Okay, so the balances for the accounts like bank account or sundry creditors or accounts payable accounts, the balances for all these accounts are required to be updated in the trial balance. So the balance under the debit side of the trial balance should matches up with the balances under the credit side of the trial balance. There shouldn't be any discrepancy between debits and credits. Okay. Hope this is clear. Now let's move to the last phase of an accounting cycle, which is a financial statements phase. What is this phase all about? What are the critical statements which constitute the financial statement? One is the income statement and the other one is the balance sheet, right? As the balance sheet, right? So where does this purchase returns primarily impact? As we are reducing our purchases, it would directly adjust against the purchases, right? So it would get reduced from the purchases to that extent of the returns which are being made. Okay, hope this is clear. Now while coming to the balance sheet where the amounts would get adjusted, my sundry creditors would get adjusted to that extent, or my bank account would get adjusted to the extent of the refund which has been made for the purchase returns. My balance sheet would get matches up because as we have been following double entry system of bookkeeping, there shouldn't be any discrepancies between assets versus liabilities. And also whatever the balances which are getting updated in the financial statements, we have been directly taking it from the trial balance, right? Hope with this the viewers are able to understand what is this purchase returns all about, and what are the journal entries which are supposed to be made when the purchase returns happens, and how these purchase returns should get reported in the financial statements, all these details. If the viewers like this video, request you to like it, share it to your friends and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.